What's up, guys? Lucas Still and Steven Talbot with Awesome Athletes, back for another episode of the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the fall and kind of things that we offer. I know there's going to be a lot of guys with a lot of different situations. They're going to be playing fall ball. Some guys will take it off. Some guys might be playing football or other sports. But there's a lot that we can do here, a lot that you guys can get done inside our building. Just off the bat, for the kids that are playing fall ball, a lot of your throwing is going to be done at practice or at games. So you won't be throwing as much in our facility. That being said, if your practice gets canceled one day, it gets rained out or something, and you need to throw, you can. If your coach is cool with you throwing bullpens here, you can do that. But most of your throwing would be done at practice, so we're not going to have you throw on top of that. But there's a lot of other stuff that we can offer for you to be able to do inside our building.
Yeah, 100%. We have a lot of tools here that we can still utilize to help you continue to excel off your summer training, and that's kind of our main focus. Is we don't want what you've done the last 4 or 5 months in the summer, working hard, all that, to deteriorate when you go into fall ball just because you got to be at a 2-hour practice or whatever. We want you to be able to come in and do what you can do, whether it's in the weight room or hitting side, getting your reps in to get you ready for the spring. So
yeah, on the lifting side, we're going to have mobility plans and quote unquote in-season lifting. If you're playing fall ball, that's going to be vital to get that done so that you can maintain your strength that you did build in the summer and the off season. If again, it's athlete dependent, and if they're cool with maybe being a little sore at some of the fall practice and stuff, then we can send it a little more in the weight room. But those will all be individual conversations that we'll have with you guys, so we can meet whatever individual goals you have. We'll be lifting. We'll be have mobility plans for all you guys. On the hitting side, like Steven said, we'll still be able to get some swings in. We got the machine, we got blast motion, hit tracks, all of that. So if you feel like you want to get some more swings in after practice, or maybe you guys didn't have BP that day, you'll be able to come hit anytime that we're open, so 6 days a week. Ryan's also On-Base U certified, so that's where some of those mobility plans will come from. If you haven't been KIM assessed, then we can run you through a quick On-Base U assessment with Ryan, and they'll spit out a couple things that we can work on depending on what your deficiencies are. They might be your hips, it might be your thoracic mobility, whatever it is. We'll have an individualized program so you can attack that and improve on those efficiencies by the time season rolls around.
Yeah, and these are also things, if you're in gym in-house, even when you're not here, you go out to practice, pre-practice, things like that, your prep work can still be done. And if we catch anything in here, that we were working on, if you're with us, or if we see something and you're new, we can give you a set of drills, maybe some cues, things you can work on pre-practice, take out to practice with you so you can continue to work, not just for the 45 minutes to an hour you're in here. We can send you out to practice with a plan, and you can get on the same page as your coach, and we can all get the work done to make sure your performance is there in the spring. So that's always a good part of it too.
Yeah. We also have a bunch of recovery tools. So on the throwing side, if you are playing fall ball and after practice you want to come in and go through your recovery process for, if you can't get it done out at practice, if you want to come in and just hop on the Mark Pro for 30 minutes, if you want to come in and get Voodoo Floss Drop, whatever it may be, if you're still in a program with us throughout the fall, you'll have access to that as long as we're open. So 5 days a week during the week, as far as 1 to 8 and then 8 to 2 on Saturdays. So even if you just want to come in, you don't want to hit or lift that day, and you just want to hop on the Mark Pro for 30 minutes, you're more than welcome to do that. You want to go through your mobility routine, just move around, kind of cool down after a practice, you can do that too. For those of you that aren't playing fall ball or don't have any sort of game-like commitments, the possibilities are kind of endless for what we can do in here, and it can get kind of fun. The first thing a lot of guys like to do is our velocity program. If you're a guy that's looking to gain a little velo and you have 2 to 3 months that you can give us of uninterrupted time to where you're not throwing somewhere else, whether that's practices, games, your high school, a travel ball team, whatever it may be. If you can give us your full capacity of training economy for throwing for 2 months, then we can go into a velo program where we're doing the pull downs, where we're doing the plyo velos, or maybe we're sending it a little more in the weight room as well. We've seen a lot of guys have success with our velo program, gain some velocity, and that's something that we can do in the fall if you're not playing.
Yeah, that's good. Like you said, for you guys out there that, like Lucas said, aren't in a, aren't required to be at practice right now. We can, redshirt guys, or if you're, on the cusp high school guy and you really just want to go out there in the spring and really show out, like Lucas said, we can really attack you on, from your assessment, attack the deficiencies that we see that you have and really try to match it up with your program to where we're really correcting those things and see how they pan out to your performance, making sure your throwing's right. If you're going through a velocity gaining phase, for example, make sure, what we're seeing improvement-wise on the table with the assessment is matching up with how you're performing on the throwing floor. So it's really a huge time if you're a guy that, doesn't require to be a practice right now. You can really do some damage in these months. You got a solid fall and winter here to really, really be a new guy. It's just going to take, up to you guys to commit to it. And it's going to be a bit of a road. It's going to be a lot of work in here, long days. But if you're willing to come in, come in.
Yeah, a lot of our guys that see a lot of success are able to kind of go through full training blocks without interruptions. Everyone wants to play, and that's why we love baseball. The games are fun, but if you can look at your year-long calendar and find a 3-month block here or a 2-month block there where don't have to play games, don't have to go to practice, and you can send in the weight room, send in the velo program, things like that. That's where guys make some significant strides and gains. If you don't have a commitment to fall ball, and maybe you're a guy that already has some good velo, some upper end velo, and you don't want some of the velo program, we offer some pitch design sessions too, and you can go into a pitch design phase. We got a lot of tools here with the Rapsodo, with the slow-mo camera, with Pitch AI, where we can actually break down and see what's happening during the delivery, what are our deficiencies, how can we improve on that, how's our curveball spinning, things like that. So if you're a guy in high school and you're throwing 88 to 90 or so and you already got the velo thing in, you could maybe bypass the velo program, and if you have 2 months to give us, we can really dive in and take your breaking ball from maybe a subpar, maybe even okay secondary pitch to a strikeout with a swing and miss pitch. So that's another thing that we offer here for the fall.
Yeah, it's nice if you bring us the information, from your last spring season, and things just weren't right with a certain pitch, or maybe your whole arsenal was just off, and you just felt like you were getting by. We can try to really make you do our best to make you a guy that really dominates out there and make sure everything's working how it's supposed to, based on what we see, slow-mo, Rapsodo, in real time. So that's another huge component of it.
Another thing we can do is a command phase. We've got the command balls from Driveline that are overload, underload, oversized, undersized. We can go into a program that's command focused. So if you're a guy that maybe has the velo, maybe you have good secondary stuff, and maybe you lack command, we can attack that for a 6 to 8 week block as well. So, in summary, kind of whatever your deficiency is, we covered 3 just quickly right there, but if you are able to give us a couple months in the fall, we can kind of attack this thing full force and make some improvements. There's a thing that one of our now pro guys, he was a college guy at the time, Grant Holman, said probably 6 or 7 months ago when he was training with us, it was the first time that he actually gave himself a time period where he was able to step away from playing games and actually make some adjustments that, if you're playing games every week, it's like, hey, we got to go compete. We can't make some wholesale changes.
Yeah.
But he was able to take his curveball from 40 to 50% spin efficiency curveball to one that's 70%. Made his whole arsenal a lot sharper. He sent me a text the other day that he had a sinker in one of his pro ball games yesterday where he was 95 with 20 inches of H break, which is something that he wasn't even getting close. I think he was averaging like 10 or 11 inches of H break on his 2-seam when we started. So there's a lot of work that you can do. Obviously, it's up to you guys to do it, but if you have the time to come in this fall, especially if you're not playing fall ball, we can really get after it. You got any final thoughts on that?
Yeah, don't let the time of the year shy you guys away from the gym. We adjust on the fly, and we have, there's levels to the thing. So we're going to try to get you guys ready to go out there and compete and win games. So that's the whole goal for us, dominate on the field. Just because it's not summertime, don't think you can't come in here and get better. We've got the tools and the staff to make sure that you're ready to roll. So.
Yeah, last thing I'd say on that is, when we were in high school, when we were in college, it was kind of the just accepted thing of the industry that you played fall ball, you played summer ball. And looking back on my career, I'm sure you probably agree, is I would have wished that I would have taken some falls off or maybe some summers off. I know that some coaches out there are really strict and you have to play fall ball for them or you won't play on their team. But if you have a more lenient coach, you can at least have some discussions with him, whether it's, hey, maybe I can throw in the beginning of fall and once October hits, I'm done, or maybe once November hits and get a 2-month block from November to December where I can send training. Or maybe it's like, hey, if I play fall ball, I'm going to take the summer off and dedicate it to training. Whatever it may be, just do your best. I would highly suggest do your best to find a 2 to 3 month block somewhere in the calendar year where you can prioritize training, prioritize development, and that way when you end up getting into a season after that, you have better stuff and you can compete and perform better on the field than you did previously.
Yeah, 100% nailed it.
All right, guys, if you have any questions about that, we're pretty flexible about what we offer too. So if you're looking for something that we didn't offer or didn't mention in this episode, feel free to reach out to us. I'm sure that we can find a way to meet your needs. But besides that, we look forward to seeing you this fall, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, guys, see you soon.